Just a man on a mission, ambition to never fail. Personality electric, he is animated male. Intelligent and wise, calm and often cool. Chris James giving opinions while also speaking the truth. Empathy and compassion. Stephen Michael is here, helping you through your traumas, helping you with your fears. These three forces combine and keep it honest. Turn up the volume, cause this is the application of knowledge.
Welcome, everyone. This is the Application of Knowledge podcast. We have Chris James in the building today. We have Stephen Michael. I am Animated Mel. And we have a very special guest in the building tonight. He goes by the name Johnny Jupiter. Hello, Johnny Jupiter.
Oh my God.
And he's going to join us on our audio adventure today.
And video.
And video. He's an extended arm of the Application of Knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if you want to introduce yourself to the people. You know
Please
what I mean?
do, John.
Oh, yeah. So, excuse me. Yeah, my name is Jonathan. I am 34 years old. I like...
Oh.
Date profile.
Date profile.
Introduce yourself. What you want me to say?
Go ahead, man. Tell people about
I like anime.
Okay.
I like working out.
Okay.
I like health and being healthy and things involving health.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy spiritual talks
Yeah.
and meditation.
Okay.
And going to the astral realm to achieve certain goals. So that's a little bit about me.
Taking you to the astral realm.
That's what be happening. You feel me?
That's what's
When's the last time you've been to the astral realm?
Oh, last night actually.
Shit, nigga.
Last night.
What happens up there?
Yeah, like who be there?
What happens in the astral realm?
Well, I mean, the possibilities are almost infinite. Just different entities and stuff. Just about how it's really just about how advanced you are as far as like meditation and that sort of thing. But really, I just call the astral realm the dream realm. Like when I'm asleep. But it's you're in the astral. But you can go there purposely too, even if you're not asleep. But
So John just now. So the astral. Drake. When you sleeping? Oh, you sleeping? Oh,
So what you're saying is you went to bed.
You went to sleep last night. That's it.
Yeah.
Just sleep. Okay.
yeah.
Some people count sheep. Some people go to the astral realm. Whatever you're trying to do, man. We're glad to have you here.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? The vagabond of the family. You know what I mean? The nomad. I know you're not really on social media or anything like that, but how we do this show is, we talk about relationships, we talk about love, we talk about the world, we talk about health, we talk about healing, and we talk about things that are trending in the world at times, But today I want to start us off with this video that I came across, and I'm curious to get you all's perspective about it. It'll probably be rather entertaining. It's not a long video. Actually, I tweeted it. Well, I saw it and I retweeted it, so I can make sure I didn't lose where it was at.
Gotta watch out what you retweet these days, man.
Yeah, man, it gets real out here. But okay, all right. You all check it out. I don't have it on the video, but here's the video. All right, let me set the premise. This video is of a lady who was at dinner with her boyfriend or whatever, and then they got into a discussion about the bills or the meal that's being paid for or whatever. So
They're in a relationship?
yeah, I guess it didn't clarify if they were boyfriend or girlfriend, but they were on a date together.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, check out this video. They're at dinner. Can you see it, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you seen it? Okay.
Oh, I haven't.
Wait an hour and a half. So it's for my kids.
Real kid.
Yeah, you owe me that.
And they with their daddy? No, that is.
Oh my god, so go ahead and bring another steak and some potatoes. Okay.
No, don't bring no potatoes. I'm bringing a check. I'm paying for my meal and your meal. I'm not paying for your kids' meal. No.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not paying for their kids' meal. No.
So you don't think you owe me after having me wait an hour and a half?
I told you I owe you. I owe you when I take you out again.
Okay, so you're gonna pay for my kids' food?
No, I'm not doing that.
Can you please go ahead and
I'm not doing that. No. Hold up, beautiful. Hold up. Don't do that. Listen.
bring two, please?
What's in that, Kiera?
Bring two orders.
Why should I do that, Kiera?
Because you sitting right
He said,
here.
"What's your
I
name?"
was late to the date. I was late to the
Can
date.
you bring 2 orders?
But I'm saying, why would I get her kids food? Why would I get her kids some food? They with their daddy.
She was
Daddy.
right here.
They daddy should be feeding them.
She was waiting.
You say you order a steak for your son? How old is he?
He ate.
He ate eating steak. He eating same I eat. Nah, hell no. Hell no. I'm straight. I'm cool. Don't put that on my bill.
Give him a
Don't put that on
steak.
me.
Make sure you put a side of A1 sauce as well.
Yo,
Side of A1 sauce.
I'm not paying for all that. No, I'm not paying for all that.
Yes, you are.
You gonna get her fired up in here. You messed up, dog. I'm about to tell her right now. No, for real. I'm telling her right now. No, yeah, man, I'm not paying for that. No, I'm not. I'm not paying for this food. I'm not paying for this.
She sat here and watched
Just because I was late. Just because I was late, I'm not paying for this. No, I'm not doing that.
And then after we already at Red Lobster, you couldn't take me nowhere.
I'm about to go back to the kitchen. I'm going back to the kitchen. It's not, no, I'm not paying for this. I'm about to leave.
He said,
You gonna pay for my food and your food and what you just ordered in here. No, listen, no, I'm
I've
straight.
been here since I was 15.
Okay, I told you I owe you one. So I mean, I'll take you out again. Do something for you. But I'm not doing something for your kids. No, I ain't even met your kids.
I want you to make sure that
All right.
I'm not gonna lie. That turned my stomach watching that.
John said I'm triggered.
I mean, well,
Hold on. What specifically about that video, Jonathan, do you that like triggered your major stomach turn?
Well, nothing. It's not like a whole thing. It's just the fact that kind of stuff. That's one of those things that I would never watch, just because the energy around it within the first, I don't know, even 5 seconds. I'm like, oh, okay, this is one of those things. So I'm just not gonna engage with it because
Right.
it's there should be very clear parameters when you're going on a date with someone. It's just, why would you? The agreement is I'm going out with you, so you're gonna have me buy stuff for
go
other
ahead, man.
people
Tell us how you feel, man.
who.
Yeah, get off your
Yeah,
chest,
get-
man.
get-
let
get all
let them know
emotions
how
you
you
need
feel,
to.
man.
Not emotion. It's just a weird thing to have like parameters for somebody. I don't know. Like, yeah, he was late. Okay, cool.
It's a penalty. This is your penalty for being late. You gotta buy my kids
Right.
steaks. They're like, what? I didn't sign up for this.
A steak meal from Red Lobster. Red Lobster.
Hey, that's $25-$30.
They sell seafood.
It's
Yeah, but
Somehow they got a steak there now.
it's probably it's surf and turf.
It's
It's probably a $20 meal. That's probably $20.
25
Red Lobster
tax,
isn't
inflation.
that expensive. It's not that expensive, but
$30 is normal.
but the meal at Red Lobster.
Okay.
Red Lobster is like Texas Roadhouse.
That's but Red Lobster was fancy.
Yeah, Red
Not that it is fancy, but when you come from the hood,
Yeah,
Right.
Oh, no, for sure.
you know what I mean? You be like,
It's above
shit.
Applebee's.
It's like you go to Applebee's. Dude, I remember the first time I went to Olive Garden, I was like, yo, I'm out here, cuz. I'm out here, man. We good. Let me get them breadsticks, man.
Red Lobster with the cheddar biscuits.
What?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Cheddar biscuits, man. But seeing that video, Steven, I know. I mean, I would say the first 30 seconds there, I think I felt heat from this side of the room, like, because deep down I was really laughing because it's like, wow, this is insane that someone is going on a date with you and now because you're late. Not even the fact that you're late, you're telling him what he's paying for.
Right.
You are telling him what he's going to do with his money. Like, he didn't have to take you out. He doesn't have to do all these things. So it's like she's not even grateful or even appreciative of in any sense of someone taking their hard-earned money and spending it on you and, treating you for a day out. And like the attitude, it's like you come from a position of privilege. Like, this is just, you are so deserving of this and you expect nothing less. And like, there was nothing. Like, I could see, it's like, okay, I'm gonna order something else, but I'll pay for it with my money for my kids. If it was like that, cool. But it was like, nah, you was late, you paying for my kids. This is like, yo, you wildin'. If I ever in my life date a girl who has kids, that'll be the last time I wouldn't even pay for that. I probably would, but I wouldn't I would not pay for the I wouldn't pay for the meal for the kids. I wouldn't pay for the kids. It's a wrap. You can put a bow on that. But I mean, I was like, I pay for our meal because that was the intention. You know what I mean? Not just surprise, like this is like when, like, yo, can I get a ride somewhere? And then you go pick up your friend and there'd be another dude or another person there. You'd be like, I know, but you'd be like, yeah, what the hell? Like, what is this? I need permit. We didn't communicate this. This was not an expectation, man. So seeing, I'm just like, man, I am so glad. I do not. Well, I can't even say that. I would say I'm so glad I don't deal with women like that. But there's a reason why I'm not even out here in the streets like that. Because a lot of women are still like that, man. But yeah, seeing that, it just let me see that, man. These girls out here, they have the game messed up, and these dudes. There's some people who actually tolerate it out there.
Oh, I'm gonna say this. So I was trying to find a very simple price for that, but these places are all franchises, so I wasn't able to find like a simple like steak price. But you're gonna be, from what I did see, you're in the 18 to 20. You're gonna be in the 18 to 20. I was trying to talk loud enough.
Nah, it doesn't.
Really?
Even when y'all be talking, y'all be doing all this and stuff. It's like my volume is a lot higher because I speak directly into it.
And you're close.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was trying to find the price point for the steak, but it's going to be in the $18 to $20 range. For me, it's not even the money. Like it really has nothing to do with the money. We're not talking a lot about money. I mean, apparently he was late to the date. She waited for an hour and a half. I would have left. So if I was I'm just trying to look at this from both points of view. If I was on her side and I was at a restaurant and you were an hour and a half late, I probably would have left. Unless you were communicating with me, I understood the situation, and if I'm saying that I understand the situation, I'm releasing you from any kind of debt or any kind of like guilt that you should feel. I say I understand, I get it. I'm not gonna say you owe me. Now, so that's number one, right? So first off, he's wrong. He's late. But she waited, and with her waiting, she's agreeing to just let it go. If it was me in that situation, I would have given a little bit of pushback. Like, whoa, what do you mean? Like, well, you were late, and, because you were late, that caused me to now have to, I can't go make my son dinner, or, I had to pay for an extra hour of babysitting. Like, if she said something like that, that would have made sense. You're right. You know what I'm saying? No argument at all. But that wasn't the case. She just was simply saying, oh, no, you were late, so now you owe me something, and you're going to pay for this dinner. Not just my dinner, because he did the right thing. He said, I'll pay for mine. I'll pay for yours. I'm going to do the right thing. But no, you're also going to pay for my son's. And there was not a question. It's just the audacity to think that I owe you that is mind-blowing to me. I mean, it's not the money. At the end of the day, I would, if it was me, I would just pay for it. I would just pay for it just because I'm like, you know what? To me, this is a lesson of the type of women I don't want to date. The things that you showed me before we went out, these are things that I know that I don't want to deal with. And I'm going to chalk that up. I'm going to chalk that little $20 up. And I'll take you home, yada, yada, yada. You're never going to hear from me again. And I hope the steak is overcooked. So he's going to be chewing on rubber.
Not wishing dry steak on the boy, though.
Yeah. He's going to get dry steak.
The boy didn't do nothing in there.
He's getting dry steak for dinner tonight.
I'm gonna tell y'all like this.
He ain't getting no medium rare.
The entitlement of this woman, I think, basically it just exemplifies what we deal with women at this point. Like if you go back 50 years, that would never happen. Just 50 years. You didn't even have to go back that far. Just a couple generations. So I agree. An hour and a half is entirely too long to wait for somebody unless I got in a car accident. I got pulled over. I'm in a meeting. The meeting went over. I really would like to see you. You know, would have a couple glasses of wine. You know what I'm saying? If there's communication. So let's be honest. Any girl that is sitting and waiting for you to show up for dinner and you're not giving her some of that, she's gone. 15 minutes, they're gone.
Yeah.
So for her to have stayed an hour, 30 minutes, they had a conversation. There was information we don't have, one. Number two, they're clearly not in a relationship. Isn't there your child with your the father? Da-da-da-da. How old your baby? 8. Like, he didn't know information, so they're not dating. This is a date. So, have they had sex?
No,
like,
ain't no way.
There's no way.
Ain't no way.
So you have to pay for my child's food. You ain't got no sex. You were late to a dinner, and I think the way it sounded like he was like, I'll make it up to you. Like, I'll take you out again. Like, I'm late to this one, but I'm gonna take you out again. Don't worry about it. Like, that's what it sounded like he planned to do. So yeah, like, you cannot tell somebody how they're going to make something up to you. You know what I'm saying? It's their decision how they want to do it. Now, you could, if you don't like it or whatever, you can accept it or not accept it. But you don't get to say you got to do X, Y, Z, because what is he getting out of it? You know what I'm saying?
Heartache.
Like, so how first of all, I can't fathom being in this situation because there was red signs, there was red flags all the way up to this, all the way up to the date. You know what I'm saying? This is a girl he was just trying to smash. I get it. I understand.
You gonna pay for that? That
You
extra
gonna
steak.
pay.
Dry steak.
But me, and then the waitress. Oh my God.
Yeah, man. The waitress up there,
Like,
being
yeah,
Lil Jon ad-libbing.
You should pay for it. You hear what? Now the crazy thing about it is, when I saw this, I saw the comments, and I'm like, yo, these comments are wild.
What were
Like,
the comments like?
I
What were
can't
they
believe
saying?
she waited an hour 30 minutes. He was so wrong for that. Not one. First of all women in the comments. Not one woman was like, yo, she's wrong. Like, that is unacceptable. Not one. Didn't see not one. It was all women, and they were all upset that he was an hour 30 minutes late. So they completely, people are late. Things happen. Women are late as hell all the time. So on our side of things, it's normal. A girl being an hour late? Now, it's different because I have learned, I know. A woman will say, we'll meet here at 7. I already know I'm going to be at least 10 minutes late, at least. I'm not even probably leaving the house until 7. Because if I leave the house at 7, you know they're going to, see, if you don't date enough, you don't know this. If you leave the house before 7 to get there at 7, you're going to get a message at about 7 saying, hey, XYZ, I'm going to be a little late. So you're already there now. So you're screwed. See what I'm saying? So I don't even leave until 7. And 90% of the time, hey, I hit that traffic. Just some lie they make up. Who knows? Then, whatever time frame they say they're going to be late, it's going to be an additional 10 minutes. So it's going to be 30 minutes to an hour late. Sometimes they move it all together at the last minute. It's 7. Hey, can we just meet at 8? Anyway, so they do this.
Get it off your chest.
They do this all the time.
Personal experience, man.
They're very disrespectful when it comes to people's time. And then, how dare a man do it to you? And now he got to buy you, your son, the baby daddy, your ex-girlfriend. Everybody got to get dinner.
Would you pay for the kids?
No, it's a wrap.
Okay, hold on a second.
So Steven's the only one to pay for kids?
Whoa, no, hold on a second. Let's ask the question across the table.
All right, Steven, you gonna pay for kids?
I gave my explanation of why I would.
So Steve's paying.
I would simply because I'm at the point where, to me, it's easier just to shell out the $20 than to deal with the emotional blowback. I just pay for it, and then I just won't deal with you anymore. It's a lesson learned.
You don't? Okay, I got you. Jonathan, would you pay for it?
See, the thing is, Jamel.
Mr. Jamel.
The thing is, Ernie, I wouldn't deal with a woman like this.
You're in this.
Nah,
No, you can't do that.
None of us
Whoa,
would
whoa.
I
deal.
wouldn't date a woman like this either, but
Well, hold on. I didn't know the parameters of this show. I mean,
you're in a situation.
This is exactly your situation.
there.
If you're in this
You're already at the
situation,
date.
you're out there. Y'all done eat. Y'all done ate. You know what I mean?
You
Y'all
were
smack,
late.
you rubbing your belly, thinking about sides. All that.
You
know
were
what I
late.
mean?
He thinking about
You
getting
were
dessert
late.
later.
You know what I mean?
You said you was gonna make it up
Y'all
to
about to
her.
get some ice cream.
She said you gotta buy my baby's dinner.
Yeah, you gotta buy my baby's dinner. You buying? You footing the bill, or you saying?
I'd say okay, because first of all, if I'm paying $25 for a meal for one person, that's silly. How about we go to the grocery store? I get $25 worth of groceries because that's gonna last longer anyway. That's a
No, he's getting steak.
what? That's
Yeah,
'cause-
you-
I mean, you can
'cause you
tell
bought it
she's
for him.
clearly unreasonable.
right.
Right, so that's not going to work. So
So-
you are at the table. You either have to make a decision.
Either
Hey,
yes, you're buying, or no, you're not
What's
buying.
them games, Mel?
There's no other option of what we should do.
What's
How
them-
about?
Them games where like the action RPGs or something where you have to make a decision.
Yeah,
A or B. The
yeah.
time's running out. You're about to
You know what I
die.
mean?
You gotta push one of them.
You got to pick something.
Oh, okay.
This is Elden Ring, man. Are you gonna get that same
John
question
said,
over and
"Oh,
over?
okay."
Oh, okay. I know how it works. I know how the
Okay, man.
game works.
Now
man.
you know.
Yeah.
Now you know,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I'm not paying for that because it's just like, first of all, if you come at me correctly, like, okay, like Chris you were saying this, or Steven you were saying this, come at me correctly, like, yeah, I don't have time to make, I had to pay for extra time, or I had to.
Yeah,
That was super
babysitter,
reasonable,
Like,
yeah.
that
Yeah.
makes absolute sense.
That's reasonable. I don't have time to
You
cook
said
for
next
him,
time, but not now.
or whatever the case may be. Then it's just like, okay, then, but you're just demanding that I do that because me, I'm gonna apologize. I'm definitely not gonna be late on purpose. I'm gonna be like, I'll make it up to you. That's big, my bad. But I'm not gonna say I'm gonna make it up to you. Then it's like, all right, well, before you make it up to me, make it up to my son and get him a porterhouse.
Like, I ain't even met this dude.
Porterhouse.
My son
know you
eats
had a
porterhouse. He wants a 40-ounce porterhouse.
Oh my god.
Wow.
That's what he wants. So make it up to him, and then when you make it up to him, then I can feel comfortable being made up to myself.
And
Yeah.
it's not even the fact that she asked for a meal, right?
She ain't asked.
Like
She
No,
demanded.
she demanded the meal, but it's like no, it's gotta be a steak dinner.
Yeah.
Steak.
Not the kiddie meals.
Not some
Not
pasta.
the chicken nuggets. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gotta be the steak meal.
That's what he
ate.
eats.
He's
He's
eight.
eight.
He
He's
wants-
a growing boy.
He wants spaghetti. He wants mac and cheese
With the potatoes.
with potato. He wants all the carbs. Mm-hmm. He's a boy. He don't care about counting calories or carb count. He wants potatoes, mac and cheese, and spaghetti. That's what he
and a
wants.
Sprite on the side.
And a Sprite on the side in a sippy cup.
So
And put it in
no.
a sippy cup.
And put it in a sippy cup too.
Put it in a sippy cup.
Put it in a sippy cup.
extra ice.
See, man, listen. I can see that I'm going to lose here. I will say this
I don't know why you would pay for it.
because
I
to
mean,
me,
the emotional blowback, but
yeah, it's just I don't want to deal. I really don't like that. From the things that I've been through in life, I mean, you're loud, you're aggressive, you have the waiter involved. I don't even want to deal with this. It's $20. Just go. That to me, it's easier. I really, and honestly, like John said, and I know I can't do this, which I didn't, I would never even put myself in that situation. But,
there's a lot of situations.
I mean, I've been late to a date, but in the time I was late, I was going to pick her up. So it wasn't like you were waiting for me at the restaurant. I mean, he's wrong. An hour and a half, she's at the restaurant, like,
That's a whole Marvel movie.
yeah, that's like, yeah.
Nah,
Not that Black Panther. That
that's a
thing
little
was
longer than
Well,
Marvel
not
movie.
Black Panther.
But I mean, like, he's wrong. If she would have asked, I think he would have done it. Hey, listen, you know what? You were late. You know what I mean? Like, do you mind if I get my son a meal? You know what I
But
mean?
see, that's the thing, Steve. What you had talked about, it all was that's femininity, right? For a woman to be like, look, I got dressed, I made it here on time. I was looking forward to spending time with you. That's an hour and a half we could have spent together. We didn't get to have. Now my schedules got pushed back. I'm a single mother. Blah 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 blah. My son needs. You know what I'm saying? Like she could have used her feminine wiles to completely flip this. Not only would she have got everything she wanted,
Yeah.
but she would have further strengthened their bond, which I'm assuming this is like their first date. But that would have turned old boy on. So you could have took a negative situation and flipped it and made it positive and even sexually charged it. Like
He could have. Some of them could have been getting some buns.
The kid wouldn't be getting no buns from me.
Wow. So even if she came that way.
Well, no. Do it the way he was late.
No,
He already
no,
answered.
we already
He
know
already
it.
answered. He said no.
It's a wrap.
Oh, okay. I'm
No,
about to
nigga,
say.
John, you tried to jump around and say
Well, I didn't know the rules.
it's okay.
I didn't know the rules.
He said no.
There's no rules. I mean,
didn't know the
I'm not.
Well, we
paying for
set
it.
parameters for that.
Well,
So even if she,
Give me this sob story.
what
Is
I
she
mean, what if
broke?
it's the truth?
Sob story.
Whoa, Mel. In this situation, you decided to go out with this broke woman. You decided that you were going to be an hour and a half late.
It's okay. I didn't decide.
If I'm based upon your actions,
if
you were
I'm
an hour and a half late.
late, okay,
So if she
that does not court me into
okay.
having to pay for something that I had no expectation.
But let's say that she expressed the things that she expressed in the way that Chris and I just talked about them. Do you think if it was explained
If
to
she
you
says it very calmly, like
like
yeah,
a
I was late
like a normal
in this, and I didn't have time.
like not even complaining, just like
You make
genuinely
it sound like she's whining. That's not how I did it at all.
that's not nor I.
Like I don't need that. I don't need that. Like don't tell me all this. I don't need that sob story.
Is there anything that she could do?
to make me pay for her child? I don't know the child. I didn't even see a picture of this kid. You just told me you have a kid.
Well, you know she has one, and you know she made time to go on a date with you.
Yeah.
Does that not make you feel a little bad if you were late?
It does not make her kid shouldn't be starving on my account.
No. It's not about them being starving. Not yet. Does that make you? Do you feel some type of way? She carved out this time for you.
If I messed up and did something,
Oh, you're late.
yes,
Okay.
I would be like, fuck. Yeah.
So don't you feel like that?
I should pay for a child because
no,
I'm
I
late.
didn't get there yet. But that makes you feel like you maybe owe her something.
Yeah.
Okay. So if she explains,
I'll be on time next time.
That's what you get.
Like shit, my bad. I didn't know I didn't know your expectations.
hey, listen,
I didn't think you needed me to be on time for today.
I think you talking about time.
Right.
You
I
feel
thought
me?
it was a time frame.
I don't know, lady, who you are. If you ever see this, I tried, but with Mal, you're
I'll
nothing you
be
can do.
there.
There's nothing you can do.
But I'll be there.
I'll be there.
You know what I mean? I'll communicate. Yo, this is what it is. But an hour and a half is
I mean,
that's excessive.
That's excessive.
Excessive.
Like Chris said, I think that was the best thing. Hey, listen, I was in a meeting, yada yada yada. Right? Go to the bar, get some wine, get an appetizer. I'll pay for it. I'll make sure that you know what I mean. Like we can go get ice cream
and
after.
that's why communication is key. Like if I was in a situation, yes, I would feel bad and I would, want to make it up to her or whatever. And the thought would cross my mind.
Make it up to her. Pay for the dinner. Pay for the kids.
Not now.
I tell you,
Now, go
I
ahead.
tell you what, I split the difference.
Okay.
I'm going to say no. You know what? How much? I got this. She got that. I'm gonna reach in my pocket. I'm gonna grab out 50. I'm gonna grab out some.
Say the meal was $60.
I'm gonna set $60 in it. That's gonna pay for me, your stuff, and whatever. And I'm just gonna walk away. That I split the difference.
Hey man.
You know what? That's a good compromise.
No.
John, no, I converted
Of
him.
course you can. He's moving to your side. No. In the situation that we watched, no splitting the difference. You at this point, you're lucky if I pay.
Yeah,
for
but
you.
Real
here's
fucking talk.
Yeah, because you're being disrespectful.
okay. So
I
you're
wouldn't
saying,
even-
I'm not even paying for yours now.
I mean, she's pushing.
No, you got to pay.
That level of
No,
entitlement
she's
is
pushing it.
insane.
She's pushing it.
Like
she's
to
pushing
order
it.
me, like you paying for this and this? Says who? Says who? And what you gonna do if I don't?
Yeah, you're right. I guess like you. I mean, I guess you're. I mean, you know.
You're gonna be out your hour 30 minutes and that $25 dinner.
Well, I mean, well, we're different
the
people.
checks up.
I will say this: we don't know.
And she's probably getting hyped by that waiter.
We don't know. She definitely was getting gassed. Like we don't know what happened. I can only go off of based upon how I would communicate to her. Then I know I've done everything I could do.
Right.
And me personally, and part of this is probably a little bit of people pleasing, but primarily it's also because I don't like that. Like John said, even watching it, like I felt the same way. I don't like that. And yes, I know that we have to go off the scenario. Steven wouldn't even never be on a date with her. I would have picked up on this stuff before.
Yeah.
Like I would never
Well,
even.
some of that stuff is probably hard.
I mean,
Because I,
Well, how long you talking to this girl?
yeah, true that. If it's
you
just a
long,
day.
listen, long enough to know that could happen.
Right.
You-
Well,
you, like-
should. You should vet someone
Right.
long enough. I go into dates. I know. You have an idea.
You have an
of the
idea.
type of person that you're.
He was just trying to get some,
I
you
thought
know,
I had it.
smash and
I just trying to
dash.
clap them cheeks.
You know what I
That's
mean?
what it was. I'm telling you.
Pay for a little dinner, take her to Red Lobster, man, get a little bit of
And
that.
then she was upset. Talking about, and you took me to Red Lobster. You couldn't have took me
Now
nowhere
that,
else.
now
That's
that,
ungrateful.
yeah, that would have. I mean, Red Lobster
Bro.
even now is still not bad.
It's,
Girl, we on our first date. I'm not taking you to Texas Day, Brazil.
bruh.
She want to go to Cheesecake Factory.
You're not even the type of woman. See, the thing. The thing.
She won't
is-
even dress for no place but Red Lobster.
The thing is, a woman,
ain't
you
got no
don't
dress on. She
understand.
got
Like,
dress on.
there's a certain woman, their energy
Take her
commands
to Chili's.
certain a type of like respect and date, and it's the energy, the feminine energy. You know, you talk to a certain type of girl, and you want to take her to the nicest restaurant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She ain't got that energy.
Nah.
She's McDonald's.
Hey,
energy.
what'd she have on, Mel?
she
I couldn't.
carrying
I couldn't really see it.
I wasn't looking at her.
Wow.
I mean, I can't really.
It was hard to focus on it. It was just
Yeah.
like
Mel said I couldn't even see her exist.
What the waiter should have done, seriously, what the waiter should have done is, and if he's paying for it, clearly what's happening, listen, this is what I'm going to do. I understand you guys, you know, let me go get the check. Here's the check. If if you would like to order something, you know, let me know. Because she ain't getting she's lost her tip. Like, if she's at this point, would you tip her?
Who, the waitress?
Yes.
Why would I tip her? She's
I mean,
trying to make me pay for more stuff.
I mean, listen,
You know what you should have did?
she would have. If it's me, and I still stay in my part. I'm gonna pay. I'm not tipping.
Here's what you should have did. He should have said, "All right, baby girl, I was gonna give you a $20 tip. Now that $20 tip can either go in your pocket or it could go for that steak dinner, and let her choose."
Ooh.
That's
Oh,
that would have been nice.
I'll be back with your
That would have
check.
been good TV.
Yeah,
I'll be back with your check. She should have never got involved.
No.
If she knows he's paying for the dinner, because what they're gonna do anyway is bring him the check anyway. Here you go, sir. Like, how you know I was paying for it? Well, because you're the man, right? That's what they do. Like, bring him the check. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Period. Just why is she involved?
She shouldn't have been.
Hey man, y'all waiters out there, if y'all trying to get a good tip, y'all gotta relax with all that extra stuff and just make sure you're doing your job. You
She's
feel me?
catching strays.
Get on
me
the
the
side of
water.
the person who's paying the bill.
That would
That
make them.
sisterhood is so strong. You willing to give up that tip?
He said no. I'm not paying for that.
He said,
Don't put
"Miss,
that on my
Like,
tab.
Miss, what's your name? What's your name? Mercy. What's your name?
Mercy.
I mean,
He also just could have asked for the manager. I mean,
I mean,
at the end of the day,
all right, nigga.
I know. Listen. At the end of I'm pissed, now because I'm pissed off because I really dislike that. At the end of the day, this is what we ordered. I'll pay for this. Anything, and I'm leaving. Don't put that on my bill. I'm not paying for any of that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, I think majority, men and women will always see this differently, but I think for the most part, this was not handled the right way by either party.
both sides. Yeah.
Yeah, both sides. And that's the thing. Like that, the fact that Chris said there was only women in the comments bashing him. Like, bro, he was wrong. There were errors on his part. So was she.
Yeah. When was the last time that you all went to a
date?
A date? I mean, that's,
Shit.
nah. Not a date.
What year?
Oh yeah, it's almost. It's
What
been a
year?
minute.
Yeah.
Last year.
Don't ask that
Good.
question.
I've been on a few dates, but
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Must be nice.
Must be.
Nice. Must be nice.
I mean, still single. But when's the last time y'all been to an establishment and got turned away for being at that establishment? And the reason why I bring this up is because I was thinking that last year, like around my birthday, I went to Oklahoma. And I mean, I just went by myself. I just wanted to explore the city, explore the state. Never been. And it's, it's a few hours away. So drove there and I was like, I'm going to go out. And then I went out. In the area that I went out to, they had some cool spots and they had, maybe one hood spot. So I went to the hood spot.
Yeah, they got you're in a new place, new area. They got all these spots, and they got one hood spot. And guess where he goes?
No, but also no. I mean, I went to an arcade, after that. But I was just trying to explore the area, see what was happening, and there was nothing really around me. So I went to the spot where I seen more melanated people. I was like, shit, let me go up in this spot real quick. You know what I mean? I was like, let me see what's going up in here, and I got in line. The bouncer looked me up and down. He's like, "We at capacity."
Wow.
and I was like, "All right." I went to, but all right, cool, because I wouldn't really I really want to go here. You know what I mean? So I was a step away, got on my phone, so let me look up some other spots, and then was some other dude that walked up, hood nigga, had his pants sagging, some grill, something like that. Walked up, showed his ID, walked in. And I was just like, and I turned around and I saw a dude and I walked by. I was like, that's fucked up, right? That's fucked up, right? Yeah, I mean, I was like, wait a little bit. I was tilted. I was just like, that is fucked up. You told me he was at capacity and he was literally the next person in line behind me. And he walked in and got in like it was just nothing. Now, that level of I'm not fucking with you, I've never experienced. You know what I mean?
Right.
But now going to, growing up in the hood, you have that look. You have that look when you go to these other areas that are predominantly white. And so they'll be like, yeah, it's a private event, or they'll say they're at capacity or something like that. Like I've had that happen at different bars or something like that, even in Pennsylvania or whatever, but I've never had that happen to me. I've never been like, you look too well dressed to get into our establishment. I've never had that. And, so it made me think, has any of you all had any experiences? It doesn't necessarily have to be the reverse of hood and not hood, but just any experiences of getting into these establishments and getting profiled based on your freaking look and not being able to get into an establishment. Especially a hood nigga. You got a hood nigga. I'm heated on that. Lightweight, but you know what I mean? I'm a little salty over that because you know what I mean? This is where I come from, and I can't. I'm just like, bro. I said, don't let the nice fit fool you. I was looking nice. I was looking nice, but don't let the nice look fool you. Like you should want me in there. I didn't understand that.
So coincidentally, the last time that happened that I can remember, because I don't.
Yeah.
But it was in Oklahoma. And Chris and I drove up there because Tyler was there for some training thing that he did. So, it was just, okay, we're going to, this kind of last minute thing. I was like, all right, cool. And I just know, it's never on my mind to, we going out tonight. That's never on my mind. I'm like, what are we doing when the sun is still out? Yeah, go-karts or, what we doing when the sun is up? That's my thing. So, I was like, okay, we're going to go out. I'm just like, okay, all right, we're going out, of course. So I put on what I have, which is, I've got some shorts and a little shirt or whatever, and we go out and we're in Oklahoma, and we go to this bar, club, or whatever it was, I don't know, and the bouncer's just like, oh yeah, you can't wear shorts in here, and I'm just like, what? So he didn't I think I might have been the only one with shorts because I always wear shorts, and it's just like, oh, okay, you can't get in because you're not within a dress code. Then 5 seconds later. 3 8.5 by left, three
Short chicks?
no
Short chicks.
three white guys come out.
So three white guys come to the bar, right?
three white guys come out wearing shorts, wearing I don't know whatever boat shoes or whatever. And I'm just like, so no shorts, right? Because that's the thing you single me out on because I have shorts. But you got 3 guys that just walked out with shorts on, and I'm talking about, you're not, and then you're not on the list. And I'm just like, well, where's the list? And it's just like,
come on, all these excuses, man.
all kind of stuff. So that's I didn't think I had one, but that's the one time that I can remember that I've been denied.
And you never go out.
Right.
John was like, well, works for me.
We gotta go. Bet.
The last time that I recall it's the most prominent one, I would say, because I've been rejected plenty of times. Dress code. Yeah. But the last time I was older, much older, and I knew how to dress. But when we went to the social house in Addison, that was 2012 or 2013.
Ooh. Almost a decade.
Yeah. I was like, it's a wrap. I'm never coming to this establishment again, ever in life. Not just this one. No social house.
Why they didn't let you in?
I don't remember. It was you. I think it was your hat or something.
Oh, when I was there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was your. I think. I can't remember. It was me, you, Anthony, and we went to the social house, and they just rejected all of us. We didn't really know why. We didn't know why. We just know that we got rejected, and there was a group of people behind us that came in after us.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, we don't actually know why. We were just assuming. We don't know why. I mean, do you know? Always? Never really.
Yeah. I remember that. I was like, okay. Like, I'm not gonna argue to get. I'm not going to fight to get into a business. I'm not going to fight to give you my money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's ultimately what you're doing at the end of the day. Like, if anything, oh, shit, that's more business. That's more money, more opportunity to make money.
Yeah.
Bouncer.
I used to be a bouncer. Interestingly enough, because I was a bouncer, I'm really struggling to think of a time where I've not gotten into a place or got rejected. Now, I used to. Oh, are you thinking of something?
No.
Oh, I used to work at I used to bounce at a place. It was in Pennsylvania, and the owner, he was white, but there were times where he told us, literally, he would tell us, "Hey, I'm here tonight. I got some VIPs. We're gonna be in the booth. Make sure y'all, don't let a bunch of thugs in here tonight." So he would tell us, don't let a bunch of black people in. Like, I mean, literally.
Would he say black or he would?
He said thugs.
Oh,
he said thugs.
well, we're not letting any white people.
I mean,
in
but you know what I'm
today.
saying? But we knew what he meant.
Right.
He was basically like, don't make it a black event tonight. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Yeah, it was
son.
crazy. Like,
Make sure it's bright in here.
you know what I mean? So there
Make sure the lights
are.
on.
So sometimes, people go out and they get rejected at these places and maybe they're drinking, they're not really thinking, yada, 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 but it literally happens. They tell them, hey, listen, there's a ratio that we want. And for that type of business, you don't want it to be all black. Like, black people don't spend money. They cause problems. That most people kick out of black. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, okay, So, but I will say this. When I went to California last year, I didn't get rejected, but I was persuaded not to come to this establishment. So,
That's a different level of rejection.
No, man. Well, maybe,
Damn.
I really don't think you're gonna enjoy yourself.
Like, you know
here.
what?
You know,
You're not gonna have a
maybe-
good time. The
maybe,
drinks
I
aren't
guess-
that good.
is that rejection?
Man, they hit you with the
Okay. Well, the funny thing is, I was out. I went to Hollywood. So this is my night. I went to Hollywood, and
Hollywood
I'm like,
Steven.
yeah, but it was like my first time that I really tried to go to a club or whatever since I stopped drinking and I stopped partying. And I'm like, you know what? I'm in Cali. Let me go to Hollywood. Let me see what it's about. So I got dressed up really nice and took a Uber. It was like $60. Went down, got dropped off, hit the ATM, and it's big. So I'm like, man, I don't know where to go. So I hopped on a Bird, which is an electric scooter for some of you who don't know.
I don't know what that is.
It's Chris knows what a Bird is.
Oh yeah, just get on a bird and go, baby.
Hop on a Bird and go. So I hopped on a Bird and I just started riding around, I'm listening for music, trying to find where the spots are. I drive by this one place and then I hear the music and I'm like, oh, this hip hop. Let me go here. Park my Bird around the corner. Walk over, I get in line, you know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at it, I'm looking at the line. It's not long, but I'm seeing who's going in. I'm like, you know what? Maybe this isn't the spot for me. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go anyway. But I'm dressed up really nice, right? Pants, nice shoes, dress shirt. And I go on the line, and the dude passed the dude down in front of me. He comes up to me. He looks me up and down. He's like, what's up? Where you coming from? I'm like, oh, man, I'm here from out of town, yada, yada, yada. I'm in Cali just trying to have a good time. He was like, well, this is like a, kind of one of those, hole-in-the-wall type hip-hop bars. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah. He was like, well, you know what I'm saying? They be dancing in there, you know what I mean? Like, They got some more spots. If you go up this street,
Damn, he a good salesman, man.
they got some more spots that, you know what I mean? And it's like $20 to get in here. Like, and I was like, well, I mean, I heard that's actually pretty decent. Like 20, I mean, most places are 40. He was like, yeah, man, but you know, listen, I think you'll like it better if you, and I said, okay.
Hopped on his bird.
I went back. I said, went around the corner, hopped on my bird, went up the street. Like he literally, I guess he rejected me.
He definitely persuaded you.
Yeah, he was just like, you're not gonna like this. And I probably wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I don't like hood clubs.
Yeah, probably been like that spot that we went to when we were in Houston when we dropped by.
Oh my God, that was terrible.
Steven looked uncomfortable.
I was very uncomfortable.
Like I've never been rejected from the hood, so I felt like, man, my past is
Oh,
behind.
Mel,
me.
you out of there, baby.
My past is
You
behind.
brand new now.
It's all good. Yeah, B. I would have shitted on them.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
So, you got other stuff on your list? Because I got some.
Yeah. I want to talk. Well, this would. I mean, I want to kind of wait to the end to talk about it, or maybe to the middle because it's a little darker.
We're not in the middle.
Twitch. Y'all familiar with Twitch, right?
Twitch.
Everybody knows about Twitch, right? The dude that's dancing on Ellen.
I mean,
I'm out the game,
Don't
man.
nobody know.
I mean, I'm back in the game today.
No, I'm
actually.
only saying it like because it was a recent story. Okay. Well, Twitch is a dancer on Ellen. He,
Wait, is a person?
yeah, human.
I thought you were talking about Twitch.tv.
Thank
Right,
you. Me
right.
too.
Yeah,
Right,
a dancer
exactly.
on Ellen. Twitch is a dancer on Ellen.
No, bro. I thought Twitch was Twitch.tv, the website.
Yeah,
Not. I
it's
don't know.
Also,
who Twitch.
just like Nike is a human being, it's not just a brand. It's
Is
just
Who's
is it?
Nike?
the shoe.
But who is he?
The owner, Phil Knight.
Don't nobody know that name. He looked like a lizard man. Have any of y'all seen him?
I think we
Yeah,
looked
we
him up.
talked about it.
Oh, we'll talk about. Sure, John, look that dude up. You know he's one of the elite.
But there's this
And he's probably never mind.
on Ellen's show, on Ellen's talk show host show or whatever. She had a DJ. His name was
I know who he was.
Twitch. Oh, I'm doing it for Steven and these two.
Well, I was just you was asking us.
Yeah, so he was a DJ for Twitch, and he's dancing, really good dancer. He's also been in a few movies or whatever. He recently committed suicide,
Damn.
and then I mean it was pretty big everywhere. If you're on social media, obviously you're not.
I'm back as of today.
You back, baby. But most people, or a lot of people, they're surprised about it just because not even 24 hours before he like committed suicide, he was like dancing and with his wife and his family and his kids, and he has a beautiful family. They're always making these like little videos dancing with each other, but it was like recorded like 12. I want to say 25 hours before he committed suicide. Then it got announced, and people were just like, "What in the world?" He seemed so happy, and obviously the rhetoric is, you don't know what someone's going through. You don't know how happy someone is just because you see them on a video smiling, and a lot of times that's a way for people to deal with their pain is by dancing and creating these videos. But how he ended up dying, well, it happened. He called a cab or Uber to a hotel, booked a hotel. He didn't drive to a hotel, checked into a hotel, and then he committed suicide. And obviously his wife was worried because it's not the same. And then
He took pills.
I think it was I want to say a gun. I want to say a gun. I don't know. Like when it comes to death, I try not to look into it. Even with Nipsey Hussle, I rock with him. So I didn't even look at the death that happened. I try not to look too much into it. But yeah, he died. They said they left a note, but they didn't give like the details of the note or anything like that. So, yeah, I just want to get your all's thoughts about suicide and people who have depression, because a lot of people who have depression, they have different ranges of emotions, and a lot of times when on the outside they may not be asking for any kind of help, but deep down, just like this world that they're living in or whatever they're going through, it's just they feel it's their time. And I've dealt with my understanding of how I guess being in a relationship with a woman who had depression and would often, talk about committing suicide. I didn't know how to to understand that, because I've never had those emotions. I've never had those feelings. But obviously now I understand it, but that's a lot for someone to just go out there and just say, I'm about to kill myself and all this stuff. But I would imagine that it's even much more painful when no one is aware of it. If you don't have, friends or people who are aware of it. So, I guess you all's thoughts about, I guess, suicide and how, you would normally handle situations like that, or I guess death in general.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I unfortunately have been around more of that than I would like to have been. Being in a relationship with a suicidal ex-wife, having my best friend commit suicide, and then have other friends talk about it because of that, and now they're depressed. It's scary. And at those times, I didn't know how to process any of that. I've never personally been depressed in that way. And so I have obviously empathy for people that deal with depression, because it's a real thing. And I think that's important to, you said something very important. People don't say anything, or they don't know. But I think that if people, or the people around you, actually, if you have people around you that actually care for you, then they're paying attention to you. And there are signs and signals, but a lot of times we just don't see them because we're dealing with our own issues. But I mean, overall, man, it's sad. And, I wish that, I think that now in life, it's becoming more acceptable for people to talk about these things and get help and just talk about it. But especially in the black community with black men, we don't talk about it. And I think that depression, or people feeling depressed, is also part of the reason why there is so much obesity in the black community, because there's so much trauma that's passed down from child to child, or from adult to child, and it just gets passed down. And people don't know how to deal with it. They just, of course, use food to then process those emotions. They use food to process their depression, or cope with their depression. I recently just finished watching The Sopranos, and there's everything I watch now, I see things differently. And one of the things that I noticed, which I'm sure it was intentional, or maybe it wasn't, there was a constant throughout that show, was that they used food to manage emotions. I mean, it was the most glaring thing that for me watching that show. Anytime that Tony was angry, he would eat. He'd come down from the kitchen. He'd rummage through the refrigerator. Anytime him and his son would have a big argument, or they would try to make up or try to have some sort of connection, he would bring in pizza. And it just goes to show that people connect with food and other things in certain ways, and they also use things to deal with depression. I just wish that we talked more about how to cope with our emotions, and if we learned how to deal with those things, then I believe that at the end of the day, there would be less people that dealt with depression, because they would be able to understand how to deal with how they feel. But it sucks overall.
What do you think about it, Jonathan? What are your thoughts about it?
Checking on your people, man. That's really kind of like. But here's the thing, though. You can't just, oh, you good? Like, yeah, I'm good. All right, bet. And then taking at face value. See, that's the thing that men do that sucks, because, typically we take things at face value. Now, I don't do this because I know that I need more than that. And I'm pretty open. I'll tell you, because that's something that I dealt with, personally, and it was really difficult, and I had to, I had a conversation with Chris, like, yo, I'm really struggling with this, So I need you to know because I need someone to know because I'm struggling with this. And you know, but I also have I'm not going to be afraid to say, "Hey, I'm struggling with this," because that's the thing that keeps you alive. That's the thing that keeps people checking on you, because it's just like, you know, even in the throes of depression, I was still able to be authentic and honest and say, "Hey, I'm struggling, so please don't forget about me, because I don't know exactly how I'm going to get through this or how to get through this. So just know." But it would be easier in mass for that to happen if people were genuine or could offer, you know, a modicum of their attention like they do for social media and all these other things that really don't have any real meaning, you know, just to give that to their people every now and again. And not just to say, "Hey, are you good? Okay, great." But to actually listen, like, "Hey, are you good? You don't seem good. You seem different. You seem distant. You seem quiet. You know, I've noticed you've been gaining weight and, you know, there's things going on. I noticed you've been eating like this and you don't normally do that. I noticed that you've been staying up till 6, 7 in the morning. You can't sleep. I've noticed all these things, but it takes a certain, and I get it. You know, we all have other stuff going on. Like, I get that. But it's like being selfless enough to step away from what you got going on to check on somebody else who might need you. Like, you know, I've heard so many stories or read so many stories about, oh, I went to school with this boy and you had no idea, but that day I was going to end myself and you were the only one that was kind enough to me, and it made me want to stick around. And now I'm telling you this 10 years later when I can tell you that what your words meant to me that day. Just like, you know, just giving a damn about someone else just long enough for them to get something off their heart that they may have been holding on to. And it's just like, it's not hard to do it. People just they have their heads shoved up their ass so far. It's just like, just look at other people for once. It's okay. It's okay to take things outside of yourself and just look at someone else just for a moment and just like, what do you really see? But, you know, again, they want you down. They want you down on these phones, and they don't want you looking up. So, yeah, it's a tough thing. Now, I mean, I honestly look at death a little differently now because I look at it from the perspective of us being spiritual beings, and then therefore we are eternal. Like, these bodies are temporary, no matter what it is. And so, you know, I know that we have. What I'm learning is we have exit points in our lives. And it's just like, there are times where, you know, any close call. I'll give you a perfect example. I was driving home from Phoenix the first time before I moved there. And on my way back, I couldn't sleep that night. I went and got a hotel, couldn't sleep. I'm just like, well, if I can't sleep, then I might as well just get on this road. I mean, I just got a hotel, late there for like 5 hours. So I get on the road.
Was the bed comfortable?
Yes, it was on the Air Force base, so you know they bougie in the Air Force.
Oh, okay.
They charged me like $90 for the room for the night. I'm just like, bro, really? Y'all see my military? I'm wiping up my Army ID like this. Yeah, man, that'd be $90.
It don't work. It don't work here.
It don't. Army not good enough. It don't work here. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I start driving on the road. It's like 7-8 hours into the drive, and I'm exhausted. I'm tired. And as I'm driving, I'm literally falling asleep. Like I'm falling asleep to the point where I'm just like, I'm falling asleep. And I remember just waking up all of a sudden and my car's just swerve. And I'm just like, what is going on? Now my silly self had to laugh at it because I'm just like, bro, this is terrible. Because I was looking for a rest stop because I knew I was tired. But I tried to sleep the night before and my body wouldn't let me. So I woke up, you know, I knew there was nobody behind me, even though I was sleepy. And there was only a 18-wheeler, like 7 car lengths in front of me. So there's nobody in my immediate vicinity. So I, you know, pull over to the next thing that I could. And then I'm sitting there now able to actually sleep. And then my body wants to keep me awake. And I'm just like, I was literally falling asleep while driving. And now you want to keep. So it's just like, point is, like, there's exit points.
Adrenaline.
There's. I was good.
Oh, you was about to exit, nigga. You wasn't good. You was about to exit.
Yeah, you was about to
Well,
be on the Bone Thugs and Harmony, walk up, eyes turn black.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean? See you at the crossroads. You almost crossed the road, man.
Almost,
But you made it.
I wasn't. The thing is, I wasn't ready to go. That was an exit point for me.
Right.
A potential, and everybody has them, right? Everybody has them. I know. Everybody has them, but I was just like, no, I'm not. My work ain't.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
Not ready. So.
I actually had a situation like that too. Y'all probably know the story. I fell asleep on the way home. It's the first time I ever played Xbox Live. I was playing Call of Duty or Rainbow Six 3. I was up all night. I was up for over a day because I've been playing that game and fell asleep on the way home trying to get ready for work. But I ran into a tree. So.
I didn't know about
You
this.
ran into a tree?
I don't remember.
Oh
this.
my God.
See, Chris always tells us stuff.
I've never heard this story.
You're
Never.
the most secretive dude in the world. I've never heard that.
It was like a spruce tree.
Oh, it was a.
A tree is a tree.
I managed the tree. It messed up the car a little bit.
I mean, I guess it wasn't an oak.
I mean, if it was a banana tree, it
And
wouldn't
when the
mess
Great
up that
Deku
much.
tree.
It was a 200.
Shut up.
We know that.
What? Cause that.
But yeah, when you wake up, you just swear. Like I was driving fine, and then I woke up, and then I was like, oh, like it was weird. But yeah, depression is a major problem.
That's real.
But because we make it a major problem, we have the ability to give it a lot of fuel, and we do. It's not that it's not an issue. It's that we allow it to be a much bigger issue than it has to be. Andrew Tate has a very interesting outlook on depression, and he believes it stems from essentially not being the best version of yourself, or at least not in the pursuit of the best version of yourself. He's like, bro, you can't be depressed if you're physically strong, you got six-pack abs, you're making money. You know what I'm saying? So he has an interesting view on things. A lot of people are depressed because they're losers in life, which is true. So I think why you're depressed matters. And it's interesting when you think about like this guy with Ellen, because there's a lot of interesting things that people have said about Ellen and some of the stuff that she's been into. And if you look at Ellen's her past, and I know she had like a relationship with some woman, and the woman died, and the way that she handled that death was weird. So there's like all this mystery enshrouded around Ellen and child pedophilia, and yeah, it's like there's a lot of stuff surrounding that world. So my question isn't, does he have depression? What is he dealing with? It's like, what's causing the depression? I think what's causing the depression is important. Now, obviously, people get on Instagram and they fake the funk. People get on their Facebooks and they are the happiest couple in the world. They just got finished chewing each other out, but they'll get together and fake these little Christmas pictures, which is why I don't even look at people's pictures and stuff. It's nothing. It's fake. It's all TV. The fact that we trick ourselves into thinking that social media is real life. It all started back when we started watching those reality TV shows. And it's like, yeah, this is reality TV. It's real life TV. Like, there is no such thing. There's no real life TV. It's all an entertainment. It's all, you know what I mean? But I would be curious to know what is causing this depression. Like, was he involved in something really, really nasty that he shouldn't have been in?
You mean like some kind of like conspiracy or
No, scandal.
just
Not necessarily a conspiracy, but you know what I'm saying? Like when you're around people in that world, Hollywood, see, I don't think enough emphasis is put on that world. Yeah,
yeah.
Okay, every day. See, what we're trying to do is compare depression that we experience as everyday people to their depression, and I think it's at two different magnitudes. You know what I'm saying? The majority of men are depressed because they're losers and they don't have a girlfriend. That's a whole different type of depression from a guy who's seen stuff that he can't talk about. Something happened to some child or something, or his family being threatened in some capacity. Like, it's different levels to it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just thinking, like, what if he was trapped between a rock and a hard place? Somebody was trying to get him to do something unethical, or else we're going to do something to your family. Like, what would that drive a man to do? It might not just be as simple as, oh, he's just having a hard life.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Or he's just going through an episode or something.
Yeah, people can get squeezed out. Like, you know, I'm just expanding the conversation because I think we're automatically gonna think, oh, you know, his wife is they're arguing, they're having marital issues and stuff. No, that's normal stuff. Maybe, or maybe not. Maybe they were happy. Maybe he did it as a way to protect his family in some sense. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I like to think outside the box, but obviously in any scenario, you know, it's terrible to see something like that happen, whether you're abusing drugs, whether it is just simply life is rough, or whether you're being squeezed and, you know, blackmailed or whatever the case may be. It's terrible.
I feel like suicide has been, like, obviously, you know, famous people, they get into the limelight and all that stuff. It's known that sometimes they will commit suicide. But do you all think that suicide has grown over, I guess, as time has expanded up until this point? It has grown because I feel like a lot of times that we hear more about suicide, or do you think it's just becoming more okay to talk about?
I think part of it is it's people. Okay, people are more depressed now than ever. They're dealing with more that they don't even know what they're dealing with, and a lot of that has to do with social pressures, watching the Kardashians and watching social media, and then not being able to live up to that. It's like nobody can. It's fake, like Chris said. So social pressures, and then obviously our food. We're more poisoned than we've ever been before. So the food that we eat is poisoned. So our thinking is poisoned. So we don't know how to process things. As well as the access of information. So being able to access information, I can see someone having an issue in Idaho, and it's like it's easy to see, right? And then, you know, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, before the internet, you're not going to see that in the newspaper. Or if it was in the newspaper, I'm not going to get that news over here in Texas, right? So I think it is those three things: societal pressure, access to information, and our food. So, but yeah, there is definitely more.
Yeah.
Too. And just being inundated with that amount of, well, like you said, with the internet, but like, and this is one of them things, like people, they just inundate you with negativity. Mm-hmm. Just like, I don't watch Channel 5 News because all they do is put on a bunch of negativity, right?
It's like that video. It's negative.
Yes.
And it automatically makes you think negative about a certain type of woman, negative about going on dates. It automatically programs you to choose, and you do the same thing.
Right. So that's why it's just like, oh, okay, I'm not going to engage with that because it's not a thing where you think, oh, okay, I'm just watching it, right? But it's just like, no, you're not just watching it. No. You're consuming it. It's going deep into your cerebellum. Your subconscious is taking it on. It's like you may consciously forget, but at a certain level, you're going to remember. And just think of the countless hours you spent getting stuff. People sending you, oh, so and so got shot. Hit you. Oh, hey, did you know so and so got shot? Why are you telling me this? What does that do for me?
Well, you need to be aware of the world around you.
For what? So that I can be in fear?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Make sure you carry your 9.
Carry your 9 on you. Be in fear. Be real glitchy and, oh, I'm just somebody's gonna try me, so I'm gonna. No. It's that just that, like you said, the access to the information, and people just focus on the negative stuff. You could do just as much good on the other side of the spectrum by look at TikTok. I heard this recently. TikTok in China versus TikTok everywhere else. Everywhere else is twerking. It's people fighting. It's, just, all the women showing their bodies and stuff, all that stuff. In China, it's people walking across the graduation stage. It's with their businesses. They control the algorithm because they want you to see the bull crap. Mm-hmm. And then in this other place, they're just showing you they want to show you all the good stuff. People get businesses, being successful, doing all this kind of, and it's just like, honestly, that's what I would rather consume. Right. If I'm going to be consuming stuff, and I don't want to see fight videos. That's why I'm not on Facebook and why I unfollow and unfriend people people, what are you showing fight videos for? What?
Yeah, I stopped following those type of accounts years ago. That's why I don't even get on World Star.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I used to
World
like World Star, but then they started just showing twerk videos, fighting videos, and I'm just like, I do not need this in my mind. I do not need this in my head. And another thing that I feel is called, which kind of touches on some points that you mentioned, Steve, is what we're putting in our bodies. The medicine that a lot of people take. Like, how often do you watch a commercial? They say, hey, you got pain here.
They put it right in your face.
And
they
then
tell
they'll give you the side effects. If you ever deal with depression, if you have thoughts of depression, of suicide, they're literally telling you about the drugs that they're putting out. So, the pharmaceutical company is heavy, it's big. So, even think about the things that aside what they put in our food, what they're putting in these vaccines that are supposed to be good for you, the pills that are supposed to, hey, just take, because a lot of times these pills are experimental pills. Like, hey, check this out. This will, this make your pain, this make your arm feel better. Oh, but I'm thinking about killing myself right now, and at first I was having a time of my life. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, they don't have suicide thoughts until they take drugs.
Right. Yeah.
Because this is artist I listen to, Ab Soul. I just listened to a recent interview he did where he was talking about he hasn't put out music in like 6 years because he was going through a lot. He's with Kendrick Lamar and SZA and that same label, that same umbrella. And he was talking about he literally jumped off a 50-foot drop pass onto a highway, to kill himself. And he said he knows where it came from because he was vaping. And he said he's never had those thoughts ever. But soon as he started, taking the vaping. Soon as he started vaping, he started having these suicidal thoughts. And then like his close friends and his homies be like, yo, man, these some hood dudes. But he's like, hey, man, you talking about some crazy stuff last night, man. I ain't on that. But it just, it painted the bigger picture that a lot of things that we are putting in our bodies thinking it's good for us, whether it be liquor, whether it be these even antidepressants and stuff like that.
Right.
Like we're putting all these chemicals in our bodies that doctors or professionals or people that we are supposed to trust in, we're putting our faith in them, in the things that they're giving us is the reason why we have so much thoughts about depression, and even thoughts about suicide and killing yourself. Like, people don't naturally think like that unless there's some kind of chemical imbalance.
Correct.
There has to be some kind of solution to that because everything that we've been doing currently is just leading us down that path, especially since everyone's so pro whatever the government's saying we should take. You know what I mean? So just be more cautious and aware of the things that you're putting in your body because everything that you put in you is a result of you, so just be cautious and careful with that.
And the crazy thing is, Steve was mentioning the food. They're putting these what?
John was shy. John was like,
He's stupid. They're putting these depression meds in the food and stuff as well. They'll give it to the. I did a video a couple.
They putting depression meds in the food, man.
Bro, I did a video a couple weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago, talking about the McDonald's vaccine burger. And basically, it is a law that was passed where essentially there's like this worldwide plan to vaccinate cattle and chickens and stuff, not for the health of the animal, but in order to medicate those who eat it.
Hey, man, that's good thinking.
That's
good forward thinking.
That is so whether or not you have an issue that needs to be addressed with these medications, we're gonna put it in your food anyway. Make sure you get it.
It's good forward thinking, man.
That way
Thinking in the right
you're
direction.
not even gonna have to worry about it.
They started putting particles and chemicals inside water. There was just recently on the news where certain states and cities, I want to say like 5 or 6 states and cities, they have particles in the water, plastic and different other chemicals in it that causes people to get sick.
Well, they've been doing that for a long
time. And you got to think what's even happening to people who live in the hood, man. But particles and all that stuff, it just adds on to that point.
John, what do you have, John? John, what you got?
Well, because about the vape thing, so there's an epidemic right now. So my friend is a principal, and it's like there's this whole thing with the girls. It's all girls school, and they're constantly sneaking in vapes.
The
Right.
girls.
These are weed or
Both.
Okay.
Both. They're both vapes, both of them. But the problem is just like these are 7th, 8th grade students, right? 7th and 8th grade. So what you were saying, Jamel, about old boy Absol and then taking the vapes, and then now he's like, man, he's having these crazy thoughts. So it's just like I wouldn't be surprised if in another 5 or 10 years there's a spike in that stuff simply because these children, you know, what, 6th, 7th grade? What age is that? 13, 14, 15, you know, around there?
No, that's like
12,
10,
12, 13.
12, 13.
14 is like 9th grade.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I mean, think about that. It's and now children are already impressionable. They're already, you know, a blank canvas essentially. Like it be painted any color. So now you throw in with all this other stuff, with all the GMOs and all these things and the fast food and you know all this other stuff. Now they're this epidemic with these vapes, and they're talking about like that's a side effect. Like that's one of those things that can happen. And it really paints it's more than just, oh, well, you're a child, so you don't need to be smoking, you don't need to be doing it's deeper than that because these chemicals like you don't know what's in it. And because they're so impressionable and because their bodies are developing, going through puberty and stuff, it's like I feel like it's deeper. Just because like how if you have too much estrogenic imbalance or too much estrogenic compounds while you're going through puberty, how that affects you developmentally. It's really the same thing about taking on all that vape while you're going through that puberty stage and just like, well, what's it going to be? Like, how are you going to develop after that?
Keep it up. Yeah, man. But no, seriously. But to add on to that, I went to I went and got a tea. I went to Dunkin' Donuts, and there were it was like super early in the morning. It was like what?
You went to Dunkin' Donuts?
Did you hear the rest of my sentence?
Yeah, did you go to Dunkin' Donuts? Wow.
He don't care what you getting from Dunkin' Donuts.
Did you hear the rest of my sentence?
He does not care.
Okay. Oh wow.
You got tea.
Okay. Anyway, so I went there, and as I was pulling in, there's a school right next to it. It's like a
Harmony.
like a science. Oh, okay. I don't know. It's like a science school, whatever.
I think it's a charter.
Is it?
No,
It's like-
that's not. It's it's a science. It's
like-
a STEM school.
Yeah. Right. So I saw a group, maybe 8 to 10 students, walking out, all walking with like large iced coffee, like all of them, every single one of them, and just around the school. First thing in the morning, 7:30, they're all around, like, and they were all inside, like all of them are getting Dunkin' Donuts, and I'm like, you guys are like 12, 13 years old.
Same.
Like those Dunkin' Donuts have the record for having the highest sugar content drink of all the coffee places. Like one of their mocha choca chocolate things have like 130 grams or something of sugar in it. It is the most out of Starbucks, all of them. And you look at the CDC and what they say is okay. We know that that's always incorrect.
Shout out Fauci.
But it's like, I think it's like 10 milligrams or it's I don't know exactly. It's something really low, under 13 or up in like you shouldn't even have coffee, like under 13, but then over 13 to like 18, you can have like 1 cup of coffee, which there's a limit of, whatever. But if you think of these large iced coffees, they have tons of caffeine, tons of sugar, like, and you already see adults, how they are addicted to caffeine. And you see how, now you see it in the dating, like you can't, don't even talk to me for my coffee. And now it's to the point where you have children that are now addicted to caffeine at this young age, and it's hurting them. And then Chris, you were talking about McDonald's. I don't know if this has anything to do with it. Probably not. But I believe it was last Thursday and Friday. Did you guys hear about their promotion for Christmas? You guys didn't hear about it?
McDonald's?
McDonald's.
I'm surprised we didn't hear about it and you heard about it.
I mean, it's on the internet.
McDonald's sends you subscription letters on your email.
I saw it on
They
YouTube.
send you the monthly email.
When I see McDonald's ads on YouTube, I mute it and then I scroll down so I don't have to. I don't even want it to. See
It
my
may
eyes.
have.
That's
You know what? It wasn't YouTube. It was an article in Google. So you know how Google will have these articles, like when you go to Google. Why you keep looking at me like that?
Look at what? I feel like
you
it's
just
that
keep-
Dave Chappelle episode. I'm looking at this how I'm looking
No,
at
you got this look.
You doing it.
You got this. Like, so you.
I'm just looking
So
at
you were at Dunkin' Donuts.
You feeling
you
guilty. I
you
say
reading McDonald's.
You on speaking terms with Mickey D's?
What's good, man?
Nah,
I
it's
don't know.
just-
I'm just saying, man.
I mean, I'm raw vegan right now. Anyway, so but yeah, I was reading one of these articles, and they were doing for Christmas a 50-cent burger,
Wow.
2 days, unlimited.
Wow. Unlimited.
Hold on. Unlimited 50-cent burgers?
You can get as many burgers as you want. 50 cent.
Oh, this just
Cheeseburgers.
You die. Everybody die.
50
That's all it
cent.
is. And then you know people
It's
in the hood
charity,
going to get on that.
Steve.
And
They're philanthropy.
as I read deeper into it,
It's the holiday season.
part of it was a promotion to help with holiday inflation, and like it was but obviously it's really to get the sales up because their sales are down.
Oh, yeah,
That's
they're-
a good marketer.
yes.
Their sales are down, so they're doing a holiday like Monopoly type game,
Of course.
and then also
Pulling
they're
out
doing
all
the
the
holiday sale. So a 50-cent cheeseburger, you think 50 cent, but you're not gonna get one, right? You're gonna spend, and then while you're there, you're gonna get you a Coke, you're gonna get you fries, you're gonna get you all the other whatever else they have.
$4, you can get the 4 cheeseburgers.
I mean, you get a lot.
And a lot of you,
four, 8.
you're going to buy more than what you want.
Yeah.
Or more than what you need.
Man, you go there and you can get 6 cheeseburgers for $3 for $4.
Like, bruh.
8 cheeseburgers.
I used to work at Arby's. We had a 5 for $5. You know what I mean?
The
Like,
Wendy's
Mix and
had
Match.
that?
the roast beef, you can get,
Yeah,
you know what I
get the
mean?
bacon- the
You get the
cheddar.
bacon cheddar, all that.
Yeah.
Get the ham.
50 cent.
That's wild.
That's unprecedented. The last time a hamburger was 50 cent was 1973.
How do you know that? Oh.
You just made that up.
And you said I was
No,
convinced.
it was probably back in the 50s.
And this is why you should check the
It was probably back
information.
in 68. No, I mean, I'll keep it real. It was
you
probably
keep
back-
it real
was
right
probably
there,
close
man.
to that.
I mean, you probably
It's
close.
probably close, to be
Nah.
honest with you.
It was probably
You
McDonald's.
gonna say nah?
Yeah, but they have-
I worked at White Castles. The burgers are much cheaper than 50 cents.
No,
White-
no.
Those
No.
are, no. White Castles. Those aren't.
Those are
Were they 50 cent? They were.
They were
No,
less.
no.
They were less.
That's not the same,
Castle
Mel.
burgers used to be like.
That's
Yeah, but them things is
that's
like-
the quarter of a size of a normal hamburger.
Yeah, and not
I'm
just
just
that, they're
saying.
That's
thinner.
what I was saying,
No.
that's a
Or they
slide.
can, you get mad bread. Think about the bread to meat ratio.
Yeah, man. Get all that
Hey
bread.
man, I ain't
And
going.
onions.
Man, ooh, the onions and
And
they
the
get your
seasoning.
get your
That is
pickle.
not. Why y'all reminiscing? Like
I don't
that?
even remember how White Castle burger tastes. I only think I've had. I used to have a fish sandwiches though.
Wait. Didn't White Castle? They have. Oh, you know
That
why?
was in
No.
60.
White Castle. They have a.
60.
They have.
Harold and Kumar.
They have a.
I remember that promotion when I was working there.
They had an Impossible.
This just said the
It
burger
was like 2
went
years.
down to 18
I know,
cent in
man. It was like 2 years.
1970.
Man,
Let's see
come on, man.
McDonald's.
I ain't perfect. I ain't perfect.
I wasn't judging you. I'm just
Oh.
generally disgusted.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
but they had one, and they always had nice soft buns.
I'm so happy I don't eat fast food, man.
I know.
I have something else to add to this whole thing about the depression.
Go ahead.
Because there was 2 pieces to it.
Yeah.
No, seriously. It was the whole thing about Romeo and Master P. You saw that?
Yeah.
You was gonna bring it up?
No.
Yeah. Well, that bothered me.
Wait, what happened?
So
Romeo is his dad, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So basically, the Twitch thing happened. Master P put out a tweet, I'm assuming, or something. And then Romeo didn't. I don't think he responded to the tweet, but he just talked about the tweet and kind of talked about his dad. Like, yeah, it's crazy seeing a man, basically talk about mental health or somebody who had these issues, but yet he's not taking care of home. So he made it sound
Damn.
like you fronting basically.
Because
How old is he?
He responded.
30.
He responded.
Romeo.
He responded to Twitch, his death, and saying, just saying much love and respect to his family and everyone was going through that. But he also has a daughter who committed suicide. And so Romeo, he felt like he wasn't speaking out on his own family. But,
okay.
But
he won't speak out on this dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
Oh, so he got offended.
Yeah, but I guess there's also some miscommunication between those two. They don't have the best relationship at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, clearly, but it's bull. Why are you bringing family business on? There's a reason why he didn't say anything. Like, it's not for everybody to. Y'all are already as famous as it is.
Right.
Like, without him going out and you know, putting this sob story out for the internet.
I don't think I'd want that out there.
I mean, I wouldn't.
No, Romeo doesn't understand that. That's how you protect your family, by not airing out your long. This social media, everything you put out there is out there forever now. So if you don't want it out there, so you don't speak on it. You handle it, you know,
internally.
And it's not a thing where you like hide an abuse or nothing, but that's something that we, the people, don't need to be privy to your family's personal thing like that. This I would not want that either.
Yeah, because even though I understand where he's coming from, but at 30, I mean, I was not very understanding of this type of stuff. And with his background, I'm sure he's not. You know, he's very privileged. Like, I'm sure he's not. He's just thinking, why didn't you say nothing about us? Like, da-da-da-da.
His development is probably, he's 30, but he's probably like 19, 20.
Exactly. Yeah. So he doesn't understand. But yeah, you don't talk about that stuff except in a one-on-one.
And then people are like, why don't you, talking to Master P, why don't you reach out? Because Master P, you know, Romeo said what he said, and Master P responded. And he's like, people asking me, why don't I reach out? I'll call him. He don't call me back. So it's like, bro, y'all, I despise that, because there's always this picture. When you take somebody like Master P is larger than life. Mm-hmm. Listen, you know, we could call this dude Romeo privileged or whatever. Okay, that's one way to put it. You know, another person might see it differently. But at the end of the day, you have opportunities that other people don't have, right? And so people want to say, okay, just be grateful for the opportunities. I get it. Your dad wasn't perfect. Nobody's is. You know what I'm saying? We all got issues with most of our parents. Like, it's more rare nowadays for people to be full-grown adults and be like, man, I respect my parents so much on so many different levels. They're still teaching me to this very day. That's so rare now. But what I'm not about to do is tweet and like this one-sided thing. You know what I'm saying? Without having any context, just like, yeah, my dad's, he's effed up. Like, yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and then behind the scenes, the man trying to reach out to you and you won't respond. Like, it's just so juvenile. No pun intended.
No, that was a great pun.
He said no pun intended.
But it was great.
Oh, I didn't get it. What happened?
Oh, Mel.
It's okay.
You said juvenile.
If anyone was going to get it, you would get it.
Okay, maybe I missed
No,
something.
because Mel.
We're talking about Master P.
Yeah, what they got to do with juvenile?
Well,
I mean,
they're not correlated in that way, but he's a rapper. If it was Baby, and then he said that was juvenile, then it would have made more sense. Because Jamel is very. I got what was trying to be.
Yeah. Are they not from the same
City?
era?
They both from New Orleans, but they're not. It's Cash Money and No Limit.
I think you're being a little too nuanced.
No, that made no sense to me.
Okay, but Steve got it.
Immediately.
So, okay.
And he knows why I said.
And I know why he didn't, because it wasn't right.
You talking to like the biggest Cash Money fan here? Like, come
on.
on.
He's like, what does Master P and Juvenile got to do with anything? Nothing.
Because Juvenile,
you didn't pick up your radar above at
They
all.
have nothing to do with
they
that.
have nothing.
I mean, music. I mean, it kind of worked.
Why did I say Beyonce then? Exactly.
Well, because Beyonce wouldn't be.
Okay.
She wasn't from the same era.
How about
she wasn't from the same city.
Then say Lil Boosie then. How about Lil Boosie then? They're both from New Orleans.
Because it also wouldn't have been a play on words.
It was
Juvenile and Baby and Cash Money has nothing to do with each other.
It really.
Jesus Christ.
And Master P have nothing to do with each other.
He didn't do it on purpose.
I know. I'm just saying. Like, this is why it didn't make sense to me.
It did work.
No.
Yes, it did.
I disagree.
It did work.
It did not work. I understand because they're from New Orleans, but it did not.
I mean, it's just the music.
Hey.
You can see how people would kind of even confuse them.
No, not if you grew up listening to the music.
I mean, they're from the same.
Make
time
them say,
frame.
nah.
Okay, so while we sing my theme song, okay, let's what am I looking at? How much was the McDonald's hamburger in 1972? I said 1973. The answer, Bob, 59 cents.
Wow.
Survey
That man Chris, he said,
Your burger, an
80%
average of
right.
18 cents. Oh,
He's trying to break it down.
This is the average cost of a burger. The McDonald's burger was.
oh, you looking here? Okay,
yeah.
see. Yeah, 49 cents.
Yeah.
It debuted.
Dang.
The Big Mac debuted in 1968 at a cost of 49 cents.
How much was the McDonald's hamburger in
59 cents.
1972?
And 69 cents for a cheeseburger.
10 cents for that cheese. That's expensive. That's expensive.
That processed cheese.
Dude, I've
It wasn't
never
processed back then.
liked cheeseburgers. Never.
I ain't gonna lie. I always like cheese.
Never
What's the
liked
point of getting
cheeseburgers.
a hamburger? Get the cheese.
I'm gonna tell you my favorite hamburger of all time.
I mean, come on, John. Right? I mean, what's the point?
Sloppy Joe?
No, that's not a hamburger.
You can put it on.
Wendy's used to be good.
That's not a hamburger.
No. My favorite hamburger.
Hamburger?
No, hamburger.
Regular Riley's.
Who eats
patty
hamburgers?
As a child, you do. You don't eat them as adults, but as a child, you did. It was Hardee's. I loved Hardee's.
When I think of Hardee's burgers, I think dry. I don't know. That's just what I
because
think.
they didn't put ketchup and stuff on them.
Oh,
That's why
okay.
you're thinking that. But it was something about it. It was the way the onions and the bun was a little greasy for whatever reason, but it was a thin bun. It wasn't a thick bun, and they were so good you could almost eat them dry. You could. I did sometimes.
That's your. All right.
That was my favorite.
Roy Rogers.
What's? Can you describe your favorite burger?
John, is that the same? Are we talking about the same burger?
Like if you had to make like a
Roy Rogers?
perfect.
If I had to think of a like,
restaurant.
If you had to make.
we're talking about here, like in our past lives.
I mean, whatever life you want to live, man.
I mean, that obviously.
Just describe a
Okay.
perfect burger for
It
you.
would be like closer to Five Guys, like Five Guys burgers. 2 patties, lots of cheese, preferably provolone, some pickles, tomato, lettuce, onion,
Grilled onions.
grilled onions. Yeah.
If it's not grilled, I send it back.
If
How about you, Jonathan? What's your favorite burger?
we're talking past life, man. We're not talking about.
John, you gotta be able to take yourself from here and put yourself here.
Or just answer the
Yikes.
question?
Gotta be able to
He said
say-
next.
Whoa, wait, whoa! All the aggression. Wow.
That was no aggression.
Yeah, that was one of those. That was aggressive, but it was just like in a professional way. Like, when in the office, it would be like, per my last email. It's just like, whoa. Okay.
Do you follow one of them dudes that like translates? I know there's either a channel on YouTube
Sounds
or
like
something.
John would follow.
How do you say eat my underwear in like whatever, and it'd be like a professional world.
Oh, okay, yeah, just
You
like
know
a
what I'm talking about?
different
Yeah.
lingo to say it in a way that's not so direct.
Like
Yeah.
F off. How do you say F off? But like
Yeah. Like I would like you to hey, they got a club up the street that's
Right.
right.
Hey, you know what, man? I think you'll like that one.
Yeah,
better up
I think
there.
you'll like
and
that one, man.
It's $20 to get in here, bro. Like,
Like that's a lot.
yeah,
of money.
that's a good that's the way to say
a lot of money.
F off.
Like this is Hollywood. $20. That's
Just like-
normal price.
I've actually already put in my vacation day, so I'll see you on January 1st. And they're just like, That's
I'm not really a big fan of normal burgers, but
Have you ever even really eaten them?
Yeah, man,
Nah.
you used to work White Castle.
No.
Like, what do you mean normal?
just
Hamburgers.
beef, like hamburgers. I mean, when I was a little kid, probably like second grade.
We're
grade.
transplanting.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I had enough experience because
Yeah, you
like
should
I haven't eaten beef or pork most of my entire life.
You was eating black bean burgers in high school?
Nah, I wasn't eating burgers.
Black bean
Turkey
burgers
burgers.
sounds good.
Turkey
right now.
burgers. Nah, I never liked black bean like that. It always
They're too mushy.
I didn't like that, and plus they gave me
Thinking
gas.
hydrated for you,
I'm just
man.
like-
I get you right, man. Don't even worry about it.
You know what I mean? But y'all got any more topics y'all want to talk about? We can put a bow on if y'all done.
Ooh, what about the pretzel bun burger?
Hey, pretzel buns are good.
Pretzel
See,
buns.
John, I feel like you have, when it comes to this, you got way more to add because
He's holding back.
yeah,
Yeah, that's why he got aggressive with you. Chris wanted to live vicariously through you, and you didn't give it to him.
Oh, I don't know the dynamics how this works yet. I would need more practice.
this man, like,
He can't. He's in
I wouldn't even thought of a pretzel bun
Me neither.
because they'll do weird stuff. I ain't get to describe my perfect burger.
You
That's
did.
true.
No,
You
I
did. You said Hardee's.
No, I said what my favorite hamburger was.
What?
I didn't say it was the perfect burger.
Well, what's your perfect burger?
Okay, so my perfect burger.
Watch him just say Hardee's.
My perfect burger. No. The essence of the Hardee's burger, right? You got to understand. It's about the proportions of the meat and the bun. At least 3 pickles on that monster. I need at least 3 pickles so you can get it in each bite. I really do enjoy more ketchup than mustard, but I need a little mustard in there. Dijon, preferably. Onions, tomatoes.
Dijon.
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 Mustard.
Yeah, I was gonna let you get away with that. I said, hold on a second. You thinking about
Dijon.
about cigars?
Stop delivery is DiGiorno.
It's DiGiorno.
Yeah,
Dijon.
DiGiorno.
Got the cigar.
Dijon mustard.
Dejan.
Yeah.
That's a man. That's a guy from the hood.
Deshaun. Let me get that
Deshaun.
Deshaun
Hey,
mustard.
let me get that Deshaun mustard.
You
That's
feel
probably
me?
what
That's
you
like
really
that
called
pink
it
sauce.
because you couldn't actually pronounce it.
Yes, he called it. Let me get some of that Deshaun
You got,
sauce.
you got that spicy Deshaun?
Y'all remember the first time you had Grey Poupon?
Oh yeah, I felt fancy.
even-
Oh, it's so fancy.
I don't think I've ever had that.
Isn't it crazy how advertising manipulates us? Like,
Especially as children.
pass the Grey Poupon.
The
It is a
Grey
trash.
Poupon.
It is just a trash mustard.
Is it trash?
I don't know, but it can't be that great. It's
No,
mass
don't you like
produced.
spicy mustard?
I just like yellow mustard.
Oh, I knew you liked mustard, but I thought you liked
I like spicy.
He thought you were a connoisseur.
yeah.
Nah, I just like yellow
'Cause you like-
mustard.
I mean, yellow mustard's okay.
Okay.
It's just like mayonnaise.
I enjoy it.
It's the mayonnaise of mustard.
I'm not defending. I'm
Yeah,
not
but you don't like mayonnaise, right?
If my food didn't have it, I'd be okay.
Well, even if you don't, I mean, I'm saying if you had to pick mayonnaise or Miracle Whip,
Neither. I wouldn't choose neither.
Miracle
Okay,
Whip.
and how you
What if they
gonna
were
eat your
vegan?
potato salad?
Huh? I won't eat potato salad.
So you just won't eat the potato salad?
No, I mean,
So you're gonna sit there and tell me I bring potato salad, you're not eating any?
First off, what kind of mayo is it, or what kind of?
let's say it's vegan.
Oh Jesus!
It's vegan Miracle Whip or vegan mayonnaise.
Yeah, I'll eat it.
Which one?
Which one?
Between vegan and regular?
No, between vegan
Vegan Miracle
mayonnaise and vegan mayonnaise.
Miracle Whip and mayonnaise?
yes, but they're vegan.
But they're both vegan.
That's not even a reality.
Oh my God! And you talk about
talking
me?
about
No,
John.
because that is reality. Those don't exist.
You can make a vegan Miracle Whip.
There
You
is
can make it. You
vegan
can make.
Miracle
Okay,
Whip.
Vegan-
the thing is, I don't know the difference of the two. I don't know the taste.
It's easy.
Oh, you don't?
Miracle
I don't know
Whip-
the difference.
Miracle
okay,
Whip
that's
has a tangy zip.
Yeah.
The tangy
Wow,
zipper
Chris-
Miracle
see,
Whip.
Chris knows.
Yeah, I don't know that. I don't-
Miracle
I
Whip all
don't-
day.
Miracle Whip all day.
Miracle Whip all
I
day.
could not even tell you
White
the
people
difference.
eat mayonnaise.
I can't tell you the difference.
Except
You're like mayonnaise.
except for on deli sandwiches, I prefer mayo. On deli-
What?
On deli sandwiches, I prefer mayo.
Your gabagool sandwiches.
Gabagool.
If we're making a sandwich at home,
Watching too
bread,
much Sopranos, man.
but
There's no
if
such
I'm
thing as deli
going to
meat
the
anymore. It's all
deli, I want
gabagool.
mayo.
Well, because
Well, that's typically what they give you anyway.
Yes, but I want it.
I feel like a deli sandwich is different. Like you're getting more. It's more layered. It's got more depth. You slapping on something over on 2 pieces of white bread at home. You got to go to the Miracle Whip to
You
make
need
it.
that tangy zip.
As long as you got pickles, mustard, or barbecue sauce,
Mustard.
I'm good.
Mustard or barbecue sauce
Yeah.
on a turkey sandwich.
I can see that.
I don't
Must-
think I've ever
barbecue
had
sauce?
that, but I like barbecue sauce on like when I have when I would eat like a quinoa burger.
Okay, you can add a little. You know what I mean? Adds a little something.
Yeah.
Yo, turkey.
Especially at Spiral. Oh,
Turkey sandwich with mayo or mayonnaise on a bun on a.
I always had this weird thought about mayonnaise. So.
Hey, people gonna think that we really be up here eating meat.
Oh yeah. We're literally fantasy.
We're like-
this is
And a lot
like-
of this stuff is like I don't even remember what some of this stuff really tastes like.
Yeah, I haven't had like this stuff in over 20 years.
Woo.
You know what I mean? But I do like pickles and mustard
Yeah.
on sandwiches.
Have you had that tomato sandwich yet?
Nah, I wanted to find the right bun for it. I was actually making an effort for it, but I think I have to go to the right store.
No, bread, not bun.
Not bun. Well, bread. That's what I mean. I have to find the right bread to put. I don't want to just put it on regular bread. I want to put it on like a sub type bun.
You're gonna make a tomato sub, a tomato hoagie, hero,
Yeah.
tomato hero.
Listen,
like
Euros.
Um,
The Euros.
Because the bread is
We
more
spend dollars
softer,
here
and I
and
feel
it's
like it's
euros
more reasonable to.
John,
okay, I wouldn't. That's a lot of bread for a tomato sandwich.
what a sub.
If you're talking about getting like a hoagie or something, that's a lot of bread.
I mean, I like hoagies though.
That's how I get my Jimmy John's. It's basically that. It's tomatoes.
I used to get Jimmy John's
You had me.
all the time. Okay, all right.
Wrap this up, man.
Y'all have, man, all right. We're gonna put a bow on this bad boy.
Shout out to a special guest.
Shout out to our special guest,
Make
man.
sure y'all say hi to Jonathan in the comment section below. Show him some love.
He was Johnny Jupiter. Now he's just Jonathan.
I mean, after I introduced him as Johnny Jupiter, he was just like, "Yeah, I'm Jonathan. I'm 34." I was just like, "All right."
I thought I was supposed to, you know what I'm saying?
Dating
Put my-
profile, you know what I'm saying?
Well, not dating, you know. I'm
But yeah,
already
we will
spoken
see you
for.
beautiful people next time.
cut
Make
you
sure
off.
you subscribe. We
Huh?
like
Cut
y'all
you
and all
off.
that stuff. And yeah, peace and love.
Holla.